Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an episode of Career Mode. Now, as you guys may have remembered last time, it was a big question of what do we do? Do I go to Ajax, do I stay with Ajax? Do I go to Napoli? Or do I go to a completely separate team? And, I posted up this Facebook poll on my Facebook, obviously, and I even uploaded a video so that everyone could get their say in it. And at the moment, we have go to a separate team that is well in the lead, as you guys will be able to see on the screen. And yeah, so with that being said, I am going to leave that out because I did say if I was to go to a separate team, I would finish my season here, finish what I started at least here, and then go to a separate team. So I'm going to leave that poll up all the way until the end of the season, in case maybe you get midway through this and you're like, actually, I quite like the Ajax season and I reckon you should continue, just for anything like that. So I had my first game anyways. I believe I won that 1-0. Or anyway, there was only one goal, which was a bit of a shame. And we are in the transfer window. I fast forward a lot of this just because we could spend ages looking at all of this stuff. But Victor Ibarbo, there are tons of offers coming in for him. I counter offered for 45 million, even though Real Madrid came at me with just under 20 million, I think. And they were coming back at me. They offered 37 million. PSG offered 26.5 million. It was clear that these clubs really wanted a slice of that Victor Ibarbo. They'd already seen what he's been able to do at Ajax. Don't get me wrong, guys, he has been really good at Ajax. I wouldn't say, he was anywhere near worth the sort of, worth 40 million-ish at all. But that's what these clubs were coming in with. I understand he is still young. He's already an 80 rated player. I believe he's 22 only. So he definitely has a lot of room to fill into. But as you can see, Barcelona came in with a 26 million bid. A lot of the big clubs are coming in, and their PSG offer a grand total of 40 million for Victor Ibarbo, which was just pretty bizarre to me. As you can see, he's in excellent form. He's very happy. I mean, I brought him in for nowhere near 40 million, and it was just really exciting to see these sort of crazy bids come in. I mean, the last time we saw these sort of bids come in was, in my QPR series with El Shaarawy and Muriel. I mean, if you guys remember, we sold Muriel for something like 69 million, I think it was, and that paid off really well, but that was when he was much older, and for 40 million for a 22-year-old, I mean, that's a lot of money. You are banking on a lot. You're expecting him really to become a fantastically awesome player, but he hadn't sold yet, so he was still in the starting lineup, and he was still crucial to the team, and he was just continuing to prove his worth to these big clubs. They were certainly interested, as he picks up a 9.5 rating, so no wonder his form is excellent. He has been playing magnificently, and well deserved as well. As you can see, Real Madrid come in with a 43.5 million bid, and there were a few others bids going in for Babel as well, but I didn't want to settle for that 43 million. I wanted to squeeze every penny out of these clubs, just because Ibarbo was a key player in my team. He's the reason why I'm getting the goals that I'm getting, and if he goes, I'm gonna have to replace him with someone really special. If not, I might be able to buy two players, but we'll have to wait to see even if he does go. But with the sort of prices these guys are throwing at him, it really wouldn't surprise me. Another player that was looking for a way out was, in fact, my goalkeeper Vermeer. It's disappointing to see it, but he's overall is 80, and he is already the age 27. So he may have gone up to an 82, possibly an 83 at the most, but he was definitely not a sort of player that I was banking on keeping for the long term. Another player was, in fact, my right winger. He's been wanting to leave since the last transfer window, I think it was, which was right at the beginning. I think that was the case, or maybe he just piped up in the middle of between the two and just said he wanted to leave. I'm not entirely sure, but Zenit there go in with a purchase for 4.7 million. I was like, let's see if they'd bite on 6 million, because if I can get rid of Vermeer for 6 million, that would be fantastic, because I know there are a lot of other fantastic goalkeepers out there that would definitely be worth less than 6 million. So that's why I was more than happy to send over a 6 million counter offer in the hope that Zenit would, of course, accept. At the moment, we're running pretty slim. As you can see, our wage budget is only 9,000, which is really, really weak, as well as our transfer budget only at 1.3. So, if Ibarbo does leave, he's probably going to leave for what, like 45 million-ish, and we'll be able to get a good 38, 39 million of that, and that would just boost up my transfer budget tremendously. So I am really excited to see what happens with all this, but As you guys can see, I was keen on taking a look at some goalkeepers. A lot of people recommended this chap here, Lily, looking for around 775,000. He's overall is a 67, but as you can see, he is only 19 years old, so he still had a lot of goodness left in him. So I was certainly keen on that. So I sent over a bid just for his value to see what would happen, see if it was worth it. You know, at worst comes to worst, he could always end up playing as a sort of second keeper as he develops, because at the end of the day, 19 is very young for a keeper. A lot of the time, you know, keepers don't really get into their prime until, you know, probably around their 30 years old. As you can see, Casillas there, 31 years old, 88 rated, so that sort of thing. But this man here, Gaita, we all remember him from QPR. He just became an animal. I believe he left us when he was 88 rated, and that was just insane. As you can see, Real Madrid matched my 46.5 million bid and matched it and went ahead with it. So it's down to the contract offers. You know, it's very rare that Ibarbo would refuse something like that, especially to a club like Real Madrid. And you bet your bottom dollar that they're going to pay him a huge salary. So those sort of things are almost guaranteed that he's going to sign that contract. And I look forward to having all that extra money in the bank. So I inquired into Gaita, and they wanted 6.5 million. And if Ibarbo did leave for that, which we're all expecting to be announced very soon, then of course I will be able to afford something like that. As you can see, clubs, we're still trying to put in bids for Vermeer. You know, Stuttgart, as you can see, Rubin Kazan as well putting in bids. So I just put him up to around the 6 million marker. It was more of a case of, you know, I've got my eyes set on Gaita again. He was fantastic for me at QPR. I could certainly do with him again. But as you can see, he ended up going to Olympic Lyon for 5 million, which is okay. You know, it would have been nice if he went to one of the ones for 6 million, but he chose Olympic Lyon, and that was completely cool with me. And now with a few extra funds in the bank account, I was able to go ahead and offer all of my transfer budget pretty much on what I'd made for Vermeer, and I decided to go ahead and offer them 5.3 million it was, or 5.6 million. So that was always going to be really exciting. We had a game against Utrecht again. We've been playing them a lot recently, actually. Played them twice already, once in the cup and once in the we played them once in the cup and once in the league as well. I believe we beat them both times. So this game was certainly going to be interesting. It was going to be a matter of, you know, just hopefully securing another win. It would be interesting. As you can see, I'm not too sure if Ibarbo actually played in this game, because obviously the deal was matched, but I think he is playing because they hadn't reached, as you can see, he's on the ball there. They hadn't reached any sort of contract agreement, so he was still playing for Ajax. But it did end 1-0 as Babel picks up the winner. Unfortunately, Barbo only getting 7.6, which is slightly rare for him. He's been definitely on top of his game for most of it. But guys, we'll have to see if Ibarbo does leave. If you guys have any sort of recommendations for players you would like to see come into the club, do let me know. Where would you like to see me strengthen the squad? And of course, guys, leaving a like helps out my channel so much, and it's just kind of your way of saying thanks back. And of course, even better if you could leave a comment, because I do enjoy reading them, and yeah, interacting is always awesome. Have a fantastic day, guys. I'll catch you in a bit. Bye bye.